Where you been? Oh, broad beans. Oh, you want me to show you how to grow them? Now, I love broad beans. Broad beans are a great crop. One of the really good things about broad beans is in the early spring, when a lot of things aren't growing, they call it the hungry gap, where you just haven't really had enough germination to get food or any real production out your growing beds. Broad beans can be sowed in autumn or early spring, and they come up pretty quick. They actually need a little bit of cold weather to get them germinated. Now, effectively what that means is you've got very quick plants and robust plants. Broad beans are very robust. They're leguminous, so they add nitrogen to the soil. They're just a great crop. You know, you can get a few crops staggered throughout the season of broad beans if you want. What I really like about broad beans is the fact that you can eat the beans, but you can actually harvest the top stems and put them in salads and stir fries. So quite a lot of the crop, you know, the soft top couple of centimeters is also edible. So you get a good bit of bang for your money with broad beans. Now, what I like to do is I like to sow them late January time, straight in the ground. I do about 10 centimeters between them. Some people say a little bit less, some people say a little bit more. You have got the dwarf varieties of broad beans which you can use. If you want to get even more out of your broad beans, you can grow them in the polytunnel in winter, or you can clutch them for a much earlier crop. Like most of these things, with a bit of planning, you know, and a few techniques, you can get more fresh greens throughout the year. And at the times when you're getting fresh greens from broad beans, there's not much else. Now, sometimes it's advised to stake them. You know, you can grow them in amongst things, and I'm going to do another video about that because that's a slightly separate issue. But usually what people do is they just have a low stake off the ground, perhaps with a cane, you know, 200 centimetres off the ground, and then they grow them up between them, and that's just enough to support the bases of them so they don't all collapse on you. They do suffer from black fly and a few pests, but all the normal precautions for that. You can jet them off with water. Usually what you find with black fly is it will hang around the top bit of the stem, and you can blast that off with water from a hose. Go for a well-drained sunny site. But what I would say is a bit of unconventional thinking on broad beans. I have grown them in the forest garden where it's 50% light, and they haven't done too badly. So something for you to think about there. Maybe they will tolerate a little bit of shade, as long as they get some direct sunlight. But you know, to be absolutely safe, go for a full sunny site with broad beans. I'm going to show you how to sow them behind me. Really simple. So it's the same thing as always. If you want your nice straight rows, bit of timber, that's the seed, 10 centimetres. Every 10 centimetres and about an inch deep, inch and a half deep. Right, give them a water in and you're good to go.